In 5 days, the people of Akwatia would go to the polls to choose a member of parliament. Here on ChannelOne television and on 97.3 CTFM, we have created a special program known as Akwatia Watch, where we are focusing on the countdown to the election day. And we will be bringing you all the stories you need to know, all the details and information that you need to know ahead of that particular by-election. And we would be bringing you all the sides of the story until the last ballot is cast, until the sorting is done, until the counting is done, and until we know who the MP-elect for Akwatia is. Join us every afternoon at 3 p.m. on 97.3 CTFM and on ChannelOne television from number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amado. I'll tell you what our discussion is going to be on after this break. You're welcome back. This is ChannelOne television. This is 97.3 CTFM. I am Umaru Sanda Amado, bringing you Akwatia Watch. Join the discussion on our social media platforms using the hashtag Akwatia Watch. Mention our handles, ChannelOne TV and at 97.3 CTFM. And of course, your feedback would be very important to aid us in this particular program. If you're in Akwatia, we want to hear from you who you're voting for on Tuesday when you get to the polls. I'm in studio with Fred Tete-Jabano. Fred is my colleague here in the newsroom and also head of content production or news production for ChannelOne TV and 97.3 CTFM. Fred, how are you doing?
I'm great, Sanda.
The countdown is on.
Yes, we are now left with about 5 days to go, and the election campaigning is going on really well in the Akwatia constituency. Each of the parties are really engaging. From our last check, we realized that I think now they've decided to go the door-to-door campaign style. Okay. And it's getting more interesting in the constituency.
What's our focus today on the show?
So today we will be looking at the campaign messages of the two parties and what their candidates are telling the people of Akwatia, what they want to offer them as candidates, and the plan they have for them, and what strategy they will be using to win this particular election on Tuesday. That's
what we are looking at here on ChannelOne TV. But before then, we're going to go for a quick report put together by Fauzu Masawudu of the ChannelOne newsroom. He was in Akwatia and has a report for us to give us some other perspectives.
The Akwatia constituency in the eastern region has become the center of intense political activity as both the governing National Democratic Congress and the opposition New Patriotic Party step up their campaigns ahead of the September 2 by-election.
The Akwatia constituency has been bustling with campaign activities, and very even more intriguing is this, particular site where the New Patriotic Party and the governing National Democratic Congress have converged at the same place to campaign. This is indeed the beauty of politics.
The NPP's Solomon Kwame Asumadu and the NDC's Bernard Bediakon are making strong cases to fill the vacant seats. But for many constituents, socio-economic challenges remain top of mind as they prepare to cast their votes.
Oh, Asubedu dear, Yaminu Queen, Asubedu dear, Yadi. By me to some cases, I got say, I don't get so Nipa. Oh, Nicasso, yeah, so it's Costco. Yeah, got a piece of a Costco. I'm not never to a man to send to say, Ambassador Galamsian. Hey, me, one of me, Kuname, man, didn't because when I see any shy. Yeah, they're not there, did you? Oh, they're winning. What makes it so? Oh, if you look at the grounds, it is good for us.
Known as Ghana's hub for diamond extraction and distribution, Akwatia's traders say they want a leader who will create an enabling environment for their businesses to thrive.
The diamond field is not like gold. It's a bargaining business. I can bargain with this man, and later on, when I go, I'll go and take losses. For that one, the government didn't know anything about it. What the government knows is about taking only one and a half. So it has brought a lot of disaster. We were like about, let's say, 500,000 people around. Today, I will see the people around. All of them, they've lost their money because of that 1.5%.
Deduction is too much.
Good. It's too much for us, so we are appealing to the government to see to it. We are making a lot of money here. See this guy sitting there. If I tell you he's a millionaire, you will not believe. The guy sitting here, you see, somebody who is controlling about $1 million, it is he's a small person. We are very ready, ready upon ready to go and vote peacefully and come and sleep and wait for the results.
This is the Kwame Nkrumah electoral area in the Akwatia constituency. The electoral area, we understand, has some 8 polling stations, out of which 3 are identified hotspots. Ahead of the Akwatia by-election scheduled for September 2nd, we are here to engage voters on their readiness and what really would inform their decision to vote for their preferred candidate, and most importantly, issues relating to security.
We are in need of development. And Akwatia constituency, like many are saying, we are far behind. For that matter, once at the top there, the high hierarchy, NDC is in power, then we have to go and make a good decision. By so doing, vote for lawyer, so that lawyer with, the Mahama administration will bring development to this constituency. That is my decision.
My decision is to vote for my party. And my party is NPP.
Okay.
So I will go in for NPP. That's my decision. Kwame Asumedu, King Solomon Asumedu will perform. He will not wait till government to bring something. If he sees something wrong, he will strictly go for it by his own before government will maybe give some approval or something.
For the police service, ensuring maximum security before, during and after the polls is a top priority in what is considered a high-stakes by-election.
Police for the upper chronomo, nobody number chronomo, and no crano, a best care, or more, or my own say, or making someone, It's a very good idea, say, a banner taking side decision, But the extra police force say, I almost what you say, a town boys, because I had one say a mining area. It will be a Honoma, he from another town. What you say, no, Oba, this is the two police in the Una because of Akwatia, no Akwatia.
With barely a week to go, attention is now on whether voter turnout will bring about a shift, a statement, or simply maintain the status quo in Akwatia.
So that's Fauzo Masawodo in the constituency of Akwatia. He did this report for us over the weekend. But a lot has been happening since that day. The two parties fighting for that particular seat. NPP hoping that by winning Akwatia, they will be numerically a little more relevant in the House of Parliament. NDC saying everything that can be taken must be taken, and they need this seat, perhaps riding on the goodwill of the government, which still appears to be good based on the recent polls that we saw. So let's go to the constituency and see how the two parties are working the ground. We start off with the National Democratic Congress. Nathaniel Tete is Deputy Youth Organizer of the NDC in the Eastern Region. He's joining us via Zoom. Dan, you're welcome to Akwatia Watch.
Thank you so much, Sandra, and good afternoon to all our listeners and watchers.
You are Deputy Youth Organizer for the region. Your office would typically be in Koforidua. Is that where you are, or you are in Akwatia?
No, I'm currently in the Akwatia constituency. I've actually been here for almost 2 weeks. We've been in the trenches. We've been combing every nook and cranny of the constituency, selling our message to the people and appealing to them to vote for our candidate, whose competence we have no doubt whatsoever about. And we believe that it will be the best for them at this point in time.
I'll come back to you, so we talk about the competence of your candidate, but let's talk about the constituency itself. Why do you need Akwatia in your fold?
Right. So For us, the Akwatia by-election is about the development of the constituency named Akwatia and for the people. Now, if you look around the surrounding constituencies, such as Asamankesi or Lower West, that would be Lower West Akim, and then you look at others like Kedi, you realize that in the past few years, they've seen some very good improvements in the general development of the town. That cannot be said, sadly, for the people of Akwatia. It looks like a place that has been neglected for a while. We were not hoping for the worst to have happened, like it has happened with our brother, may God bless his soul, Ernest Yakumi. But unfortunately, it has happened. However, in the midst of that unfortunate incident, we believe that the people of Akwatia have an opportunity to correct what we believe was a certain mistake or error in the 2024 general elections, for which we went to court. And so for us, we are presenting them a candidate who listens, a candidate who cares about them, a candidate who has the wherewithal to be able to take Akwatia to the next level. For us as a party, it's not about the numerical strength in parliament, but really, it's really about the specificity, the development of Akwatia constituency in particular. So we are just putting the constituency in focus, and we are promising them that should they give us the nod, which we know they will on Tuesday, we are not going to let them down.
But regardless of who is the MP, you are the party in government. It's your duty to develop the country in its entirety. We are a unitary state. All powers come from the president. We don't have governors. So you ultimately have to develop Akwatia, whether or not they give you the vote. Are you suggesting that having or giving you an MP would be the only way people of Akwatia would see development?
Not at all, not at all. For the past few weeks that we have been here, the people of Akwatia have attested indeed to the good works of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama within the past 8 months that he has been in government. Of course, the prices of fuel, which have dropped astronomically, all over the country, the people of Akwatia also feel it. The people of Akwatia know that the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has scrapped off e-levy. They know that the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama from this academic year going forward is scrapping the double track system. Generally, they have felt their fair share of the reset agenda led by His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama. What we are saying, however, is not the same as what we saw under President Akufo-Addo, where he specifically mentioned that he refused to develop certain areas of the country, specifically because they did not vote for his candidates. That is not what we are saying. But we believe that if you look at the two candidates, the two contenders for MPP and NDC, clearly you would see a certain sense of duty in the NDC candidate. You would see a candidate that is more competent. You would see a candidate that is more development driven, a candidate who actually wants to get things to work. And so that is why in our messaging so far, we've been promising the good people of Akwatia and assuring them of what we can actually do. While our friends have been sort of busy trying to capitalize on the unfortunate demise of our colleagues, we have been telling the people what indeed we have in mind for them. Our previous member of parliament, the Honorable Henry Bachi Adam, had a lot of projects which he had undertaken when he came into office from 2020 till 2024, when we had the elections. A number of those projects have not been completed, for instance, and so we would like to go back to develop some of those things. We have made the pledge that we are going to go back and complete all these developments. We haven't heard our opponents say the same, which then sends us a signal that they don't intend, to really prosecute the development agenda in the best interest of the people of Akwatia. And so when we say that we are hoping and appealing for them to vote for our candidate in order to facilitate development, we are talking about a certain accelerated development. And mind you, Sanda, this will be an MP who aligns with the vision of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, of course, the research agenda, And so it is based on that we say proudly that at this point in time, the NDC, led by lawyer Bernard Bediako, is the best placed candidate to be able to take Akwatia to the next level. Akwatia, from when we were all children, it's always been a very major town. We've all heard of it, Akwatia Diamond, Akwatia Resources, gold, and all that. But if you look at the general landscape within, the community, aside from the township proper, most of the projects that the NDC had begun before we left power, unfortunately, in 2016, have not been seen to. And so it is against that background that we are hoping that the good people would give us the nod, and we can assure them that we will not let them down.
Nat, if you could just indulge me, I would want to engage you further on the type of campaigning you are carrying out in the constituency, whether President John Dramani Mahama would be coming to the constituency. We saw his Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, come over the weekend. And also the historical statistics that we have, they don't look like the Akwatia seat is an NDC seat, strictly speaking. I'll ask you if you're very certain that things will change. But let me just take a quick break. This is Akwatia Watch on ChannelOne television and also on 97.3 CTFM. Nathaniel Tete is Deputy Youth Organizer of the NDC in the Eastern Region. He was speaking to us about their chances in the Akwatia constituency. We'll be back to hear from him more and also from the NPP side as they go into the by-election on Tuesday. You're welcome. This is Akwatia Watch on 97.3 CTFM and also on ChannelOne television. Before we went on that break, we were speaking to Nathaniel Tete, who is Deputy Youth Organizer of the NDC in the Eastern Region. I still have him on the line, but let me cross over to the other line, speak to Kwame Oredu. He speaks for the NPP campaign team in Akwatia. He's joining us via telephone. Kwame, you're welcome to Akwatia Watch.
Thank you, Mario, and thank you for having me.
How is Akwatia looking for you? And in answering that, why do you need Akwatia?
Well, it's vibrating for the MPP. The MPP is poised to retain the Akwatia seat. Even though we are mourning our late MP, Honorable Ernest Komi, we are still poised and determined to keep the seat. And the grounds bear witness to this assertion. Almost everybody is saying we are retaining the seat in Akwatia. And it is very important because this particular vote is a vote to vindicate and honor the name of Ernest Komi. I mean, first and foremost, I was part of his legal team in court. And what the NDC was saying was that there were issues of voting, vote pardon, and all that. And so now that he's no longer around, we need to win and win back to vindicate him that, yes, he won fairly and squarely, and there were no issues over voting at all. So it's a vote to first and foremost vindicate and honor the name of Ernest Komi, our late MP, and as well as let the NDC know that the Akwatia seat is now preserved for the MPP.
It's interesting you mentioned that you're a part of the legal team of Ernest Komi.
Yes, I was.
We've seen that the person who represented the NDC candidate in court as a lawyer is the one who is a candidate today. You represented Komi, or you're one of the lawyers,
yes.
But you contested him in the past. Why didn't you contest to replace him? Or the MPP whipped everybody in line and said, choose this gentleman, and so Esumadu is the one who should go?
Not really. It was a consensus. I mean, every election has its own dynamics. So when we consider the dynamics of this particular election, we thought that it was more prudent to allow Mr. Asumedu to go on the post. And so it was a decision by all of us. I was involved. I agreed, and we are supporting Asumedu because the circumstances are such that he's the best person for the constituency now.
Okay, so the question is asked, why do you need Akwatia in your fold? Because even though you are the ones who are holding the constituency, that election of 2024 was contested. In fact, the NDC holds a view that Ernest Kumi, the late, was not properly elected, and that's why they went to court and secured all those injunctions and all of the other issues. The rest really is history now. The NDC holds a view that things have changed in that constituency, the constituency is for them, and so perhaps nature has worked around to give them back what belonged to them.
Nothing has really changed. And if you listen to their campaign message, I mean, excuse my language, it's a bit of falsehood. We do and all know and appreciate that development is not directly linked to parliamentary representation. But they are all about over the place saying that if you don't vote our candidate, there will be no development, as if there is no district chief executive. We put all these pressures on MPs, and when people start complaining, they say that we are not developmental agents. There's no way you could tell people that if you don't vote for my candidate, there will be no development in Akwatia. What is the DC's role? And Omaru, there are so many constituencies who have parliamentary representations. What is happening there? So that message alone, it's nothing but propaganda.
But the point is that it's like President Mahama is the father of the country now, and if he has his son in Akwatia who comes to lobby that bring development, because the president is supposed to send development everywhere. It is up to who can do the lobbying the most. And if you're a member of parliament and the minister for roads, for instance, is in parliament with you, you can meet him on the corridors, lobby, and then your road will be fixed. So that is the thinking, because you are all on the same side, you are in power. But if you are not, getting to catch the eye of the minister, getting to even go to the president and beg for development, you don't have to necessarily do the development, but you lobby for it. Maybe a long shot. That is really the thing. So you don't want an orphan MP.
Omar is not absolute. It depends. You know, parliamentary representation has a lot to do with your lobbying skills as MP. So there's no direct correlation between your party being in power and you being an MP. There are people who have sat in parliament for over 24 years. Their governments have come, their governments have gone, and yet they haven't seen development in their constituencies. A lot of them. So we don't even say, because just the past parliamentary representation for Akwatia was an NDC candidate, and he was boasting that he has brought development, even under NPP. Because he had a market under him. He was not an NPP person, but there was development. There were other developmental projects that went that was under Okoyo, who was an NDC candidate under an NPP administration. So we don't have any direct correlation. I mean, people have sat in parliament for over 24 years. Their governments have been in power, but there are no developments in their constituency. So I don't think that it is an argument to even stretch and to even spend more time on.
But you would agree that it will be a difficult work, considering the goodwill that the NDC currently enjoys as a party in government, President Mahama and all of that, considering how hefty the blow they gave you in 2024 was. And before you joined, I was speaking to the NDC official who was saying that the effect of the prices of fuel, everybody feels it. The dollar, everybody is feeling it. So it is going to be a very difficult one for you to convince the people to choose your candidate when they have someone who is closer to power, even though you hold a contrary view. You don't
Not
admit?
At all, Mario. Not at all, because you see, parliamentary elections is more local. The issues pertaining to Akwatia may be different from the issues pertaining to Adabraka or Achimota, or the issues pertaining somewhere in Kumasi. Mostly Akwatia are predominantly miners, and there are lots of mining issues going on right now. The issues of the registration of aggregators by Gold Board, the issues of the percentage the government wants to take from those who deal in diamonds and all that. These are issues that have come up in Akwatia, and it's a local issue. These issues will not affect Adabraka. Issues of gold buying, issues of diamond, issues of diamond concessions, it will not affect Akwatia. It will not affect Bungurugu Yoyo. It will affect Akwatia. So these are very local issues, which when I listen to him, it exposes him clear that he doesn't even know the dynamics of Akwatia currently. So even though the government may be enjoying goodwill, the local issues are such that it favors our candidates, because we believe that at this point, what Akwatia needs is somebody who could go to parliament and say that, you know what, the miners in Akwatia are worried about these particular processes. The miners in Akwatia, those who deal in diamonds, are saying A, B, C, and D. Government, parliament, I am an Akwatia person. I am part of those crying. Let us put it this way. He could make suggestions that the lawyer cannot make. So that is why I say that elections are local, especially parliamentary elections. So the dynamics currently are such that even though the people of Ghana may be enjoying goodwill of Akwatia, but the dynamics in Akwatia are such that our candidates stand tall.
The other issue around propaganda, you mentioned earlier that there's propaganda. There are two things that are being thrown.
You did agree with me that it is propaganda because development is not directly tied to parliamentary representation. Did you not?
Let's leave what I agree to or not. Let me put the next question. So
sure,
the other issue is that they say your candidate, he cannot speak. He can't communicate. And if he goes to parliament, he cannot do the job of lobbying for the people. And that Bediako on the other side, the NDC candidate, speaks well and he can do a better lobbying job. That's one. The other thing too is that you are taking advantage of the sensitivities of the issues and the emotions by putting the photo of the late MP on the billboard of your candidate. How do you respond to these two things as propaganda against your campaign?
The first one is something that I've struggled to understand why people say that. Not everybody is as fluent as probably Umaru or is as fluent in any language as any other person. You see, the mere fact that somebody speaks without taking a breath doesn't mean that this person is speaking wisdom. Okay, so for me, I have dealt with Asimedo. I know him personally. He communicates well, and it's relative. I mean, your judgment as to how he communicates, it's a bit relative. So for me, as for that issue and all that, I don't think that it comes in at all. Because look at what we do. I am a lawyer, so you expect that for advocacy and all that, I have gone through that several times over 10 years at the bar, so it should come naturally to me. He is a businessman and a miner. He is good at negotiation. The language we use in advocacy may not be the language we use in negotiations and lobbying. So for me, I don't think it comes up even for discussions, because what parliamentary work is about is not only parliamentary advocacy, but lobbying, talking to people, opening their eyes to businesses and all that. So all these things are part of his attributes that he could rely on when he goes to parliament. As for fluency in language, fluency in English, fluency in tree, we have seen people who speak so well, but yet there is no sense. So as for that bit, I don't even want to go into that because it is relative. For me, he speaks well. I mean, he does his best because parliamentary representation is not about floor discussions and all that. It's about lobbying and all that. Why? 276 of them. How many have we heard them speak on issues in parliament? But there are still people in parliament who do not speak, but yet, if you go to their constituencies, their development, things are moving on. Okay, so as for me, that first issue, because it's relative, I leave it for people. But for me, I think fluency is not a measure of somebody's intellect or how the person can probably lobby for his people.
Okay.
The second issue, in fact, even if Omaru, the election is all about that, so be it. Because NS won fair and squarely over 2,000 votes. In 2020, I was in the collation center. Okoyo Honorable Boachi Yadom won with less than, just around 1,500 votes. We had issues, but we said, you know what? We are all from Akwatia. Let us just go. 4 years to come, we will contest. In 2024, NS won with over 2,000 votes. Omaru, you have some legal education. If you see the kind of rates they issued, indicating that there was overvoting and votes pardon, well, I'll leave it for your judgment. It had no merit. It had no substance. The only issue that they held on to was the fact that NS had gone to parliament when there was an injunction on them. If you look at that particular rate, the reliefs they were seeking, and the fact that the reliefs were based on, you would ask yourself, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because it was so clear that NS had won fairly. So if NS is no longer with us, it is, and we are very much entitled to say that, you know what? They said NS stole the election. Let's vote massively to tell them that NS did not steal this election, to vindicate his name, to honor his name. So even if that is the only campaign message we have, so be it.
So let's put his photo on the billboard of the candidates.
Oh, you see, as to the issue of photo on the bill, it's just a reminder that we need somebody to just complete the term given to. Of course, this is a by-election and it's not a general election. With the person is going to complete or finish the 4-year mandate given to Ernest. So it's just a reminder to our people that this is Asumedu. He is going to represent us just as Ernest represented us in Parliament. So that is not a big deal at all.
My brother Ernest Kumi passed away more than a month ago. You are now doing his 1-week observation.
Yes.
Now, the other criticism against you is that you are deliberately putting this 1-week observation the weekend into the election, ostensibly to put people in the mood and then tap into their emotions and then harvest their votes, and that you are being insensitive in doing what you are doing. Can you explain why you're doing the 1-week observation this weekend?
Okay, so first and foremost, not at all. I mean, we are Chin people. We do observe 1 week as well as 40 days. So the first reason why we had to extend the 1-week celebration was the fact that, and this is a royal, he's from the royal Asuna family of Achim Wenchi. They are the occupants of the Osiewu stool of Achim Ebuakwa traditional area. So the occupant of the stool was not in Ghana. Dasibri Asumedu was away, and so we had to wait for him to come back. So when he came back, he said due to 1 or 2 reasons, he had to extend the day for the 1 week. And so we decided that if we are going to extend the 1-week observation, then let's wait and add the 40 days. And it's just that we have projected the 1 week more, but it is both 1 week and 40 days observation for our late brother in this committee. So it is not deliberate. It is not to probably win sympathy votes, not at all. It is just because he's a royal, and as a royal, we needed more time to really organize something befitting of a royal, befitting of an MP. And under the auspices of Osiewu, the Osiewu of Achim Ebuakwa, he's actually suggested this date. And so it is not as if we just fix that day to winch up people to vote for us or anything. It is just because he's a royal and we needed time to do something befitting for a royal.
The NDC had the Chief of Staff visiting this weekend to whip up support for their candidate. I do not know who else they are going to send to the constituency. Who is the MPP bringing to the constituency, or who has MPP sent to the constituency?
Well, first and foremost, I did mention that election is local. So all of us who are natives of Akwatia are on board. I am from Achim Kusi. I am on board. Almost everybody who is MPP from Achim Kusi, from Akwatia constituency, is in the constituency. As we speak, for over 1 month, the Deputy General Secretary, Aruna, I was with him just about yesterday. He has been in the constituency for over a month. The General Secretary has been in the constituency. The regional executives, in fact, they pitched camp in the constituency. You would also realize that this week has been very busy for the party in terms of the flag bearers submitting their forms and all that. So as soon as we get all those things out of the way, almost everybody who matters in MPP, even including the former president, will be trooping in Akwatia.
Are you planning to do a rally of a sort to climax your campaign before the election day?
That is a strategy we are keeping to our chest for now.
Oh, but if you let us know, then the people will hear and then they will come.
So what has happened to us right now is that we have tomorrow, in fact, today we are organizing a vigil at Wenchi to honor our late MP.
Okay.
And tomorrow is 1 week and 40 days observation. So we are now preoccupied with these 2 events. Right after we will engage the media as the rest of the activities going into September 2.
So for now, you are doing door-to-door campaigns. How are your messages being received?
In fact, it has been very welcoming. I was in one of the houses, and they told me that, you know what, we won't fall for their lies. We all know very well that they mentioned Dr. Asari. I mean, he was an MP from 2012 to 2016. They mentioned that when Dr. Asari was MP for Akwatia constituency, it was NDC. But they can single him out and say that he's the MP who brought them a lot of development. Where I come from, for instance, he gave us a clinic in Achim Kusi. So these lies about vote for me, I am directly tied to the president, I'll bring development, it's not selling, because they have people who are there who were witnesses to the reign of Dr. Asari, who said that when Dr. Asari was even an MP, it was NDC that was in power. But we can say, and we can boldly say, that it was Dr. Asari who made us see a lot of development in Akwatia constituency.
We wish you all the best, and thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you, Marison.
That's Kwame Oredu. He's a lawyer, a member of the campaign team of the NPP in Akwatia, and he's also a spokesperson for that particular campaign. Let me go back on Zoom. I still have Nat Tete on the other line. He's the NDC Deputy Regional Organizer for Eastern Region. Nat, let's talk about your candidate. The MPP appears to have pulled a fast one on you. They went to choose their candidate from your home or from your backyard, while they have their own turf properly protected. They have essentially come to split the votes in your backyard. That strategy, you didn't see it coming when you were shouting on the rooftops that they didn't allow elections to happen, did you?
Right, Sandra, thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to begin by addressing the presentation made by my brother Paul. Clearly, this is a campaign that is gasping for breath. Their campaign is dead on arrival. The MPP have no message. The MPP have nothing in store for the people of Akwatia. And that is why when you come to the constituency, you can find out from your reporters on ground, the only message they have are funeral dirges. They've been playing funeral dirges for the past 2 weeks, and pictures of the late Honorable Ernest Kumi. Those are the only campaign messages that they have. They've only been crying and crying and crying, pretending to love the late Ernest Kumi more than his family. But we know that it is just a ploy to take advantage, to farm for votes, and the people are not going to fall for that. When you asked him about the competence of their candidate, you realize that he was quick to mention that we shouldn't go there. No, we will go there, because really it is about competence. It is about sending somebody to parliament who can do the job, somebody who can speak for the people of Akwatia, somebody who can stand in for the people of Akwatia, and somebody who knows the pain of the people of Akwatia. He also made the point that the government is currently enjoying goodwill or something like that. And I just want to put it on record that the government is not merely enjoying goodwill. The government is actually delivering. And so clearly, when you make promises to the people and you are delivering on those promises, generally the people are satisfied.
But he made the point. He made the point that constituency elections are local. What you are talking about, no, the things you mentioned are national. How do they reflect down there? He says that they don't necessarily reflect down there. The local issues are separate.
I know that our listeners are digesting the issues for themselves. Are we saying that the people of Akwatia do not buy fuel? Are we saying that the people of Akwatia, when they are sending money to people, when NPP imposed e-levy, did the people of Akwatia not also feel the brunt from that? Are we saying that now that the prices of food and inflation has dropped, are we saying that the people of Akwatia do not feel the impact of the good policies of this government? All those things are local issues. Fuel is a local issue. When you are buying fuel, you don't buy fuel from Accra. You buy fuel from your own pocket. It is local. If you are doing a transaction and then you are sending money and a deduction is being made, it is local to your pocket. And so it comes back to my point, really, that, look, these people have no message to sell. You should listen to their candidates speak. Absolutely no message. The only thing they've been doing is to play funeral songs and funeral songs and funeral songs. But the people of Akwatia need development. The people of Akwatia are asking, what can you do for us? What development really can you pull for us? He said that he went somewhere and somebody told him that the former MP on the ticket of the MPP had done so much, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you on authority, Sandra, nobody told him anything. Nobody told my brother Paul anything. It's pure conjecture.
He said he went to a home and that's what they told him. After that, you and I were not there.
No,
what you and I were there is where we have noticed that they chose a candidate in your backyard, essentially crippling your base. How do you respond to that?
Yes, it comes back to my point that it cannot be said that our base has been crippled. The MPP have always tried to pull a fast one on us with regards to these elections. First of all, like you said, they picked they are candidates from an NDC, an area within the constituency that typically votes for NDC, thinking that that would weaken us. And then our campaigns started. We pick our candidate, and they realized that the weight of our candidate far exceeds or supersedes that of theirs. And then they tried to pull another fast one, trying to use Tamale Central to negotiate Akwatia. If they believe so well that they have a candidate that is marketable, they have a candidate that is sellable, and they are winning Akwatia hands down, why is their national organizer, Henry Nanabuachi, why is he on TV begging NDC to cede off Akwatia for them so that they also let go of Tamale Central? They know. They are on the grounds with us. They know that they have no message for the people. The only thing they are banking on are these issues of this person is from here, this person is from there, our candidate is from Wedria, NDC candidate is. Those are not real issues. Those are not the things that the people want to hear. The people of Akwatia are one people. Yes, there are many communities, in the constituency, but generally, the people of Akwatia see themselves as one. And so it does not really matter where the candidate is coming from. They are more interested in what that candidate can do or what that candidate can deliver for the constituency. And so those really are the issues. All these sympathy attempts and all that. Yes, we all feel terribly sorry and broken over the development, the demise of our brother. But development of Akwatia would not be put on hold just because some people are on our brothers are on the streets wailing. You remember when you asked him why they are contesting this seat, he didn't say anything about the progress or development of Akwatia. He said that for them, it's about honoring the memory of the late Honorable Ernest Yaokumi, which is fine. But is that enough reason in entirety for a whole political party to run an election just because you want to honor somebody? I don't think so.
Nat, are you planning a major rally ahead of the election, or what's your strategy in terms of campaigning methods?
Sanda, for us, we have been focused on engaging the people, as you said. We are not doing grandiose events sort of to catch the eye of the media or of the nation.
They are doing a candlelight vigil tonight. They will do a funeral tomorrow, and they may do a rally. They will take all the people away from you.
We will be there.
They are doing one week tomorrow. Sorry, yes.
We will be there with them at the candlelight vigil tonight to, of course, pay respects to our brother, the late Honorable Ernest Yaokumi. Tomorrow as well, we'll be joining them for the 1 week celebration. And as for their final rallies and all that, I mean, really, they're entitled to their own campaign strategies. We also have our activities lined up. For us, it's mostly about reaching out to people. It's mostly about speaking to people and letting people know that lawyer Bernard Bediakun has what it takes. He has the competence, and he is the man to deliver at this point in time.
The Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, was in the constituency. Should we expect other high-ranking officers to join you in your campaigns? The president, perhaps?
Yes, as you know, the Chief of Staff was with us on Sunday. We thank him so much and his team. He met with the chiefs and people of Achimwenchi. Very far-reaching discussions. There was a follow-up meeting. He, of course, invited the chiefs for a follow-up meeting earlier in the week, and his coming has been very positive to our campaign, and we thank him. We are expecting the Chief of Staff to be back with us, hopefully over the weekend. We are hoping that he will be able to join us for the funeral tomorrow. But like I said, we are not.
But the president and vice are not coming, are they?
At the moment, I'm not in a position to say. But I was going to make a point that we are running our campaign not based on personalities. Our national chairman has been in the constituency with us for the past few days. Actually, this afternoon, he has a program ongoing. He's been engaging. But those are not the things that we are putting at the forefront of our campaign. We are not campaigning based on personalities or heavyweights. We are campaigning as a team. We are campaigning together, and we are selling our people, our message to the good people of Akwatia. And we know that on 2nd September, victory would be for the NDC and for lawyer Bernard Bediakun. Of course, they are hoping that we made certain allegations in the aftermath of the 2024 elections about some issues that went on specifically around areas such as Achim Wenchi and Achim Kusi areas. And all those things are things that we are deploying strategies to be able to deal with. And we know we would expose them in these elections. The real figures would come out, and people would bear us witness. As when we said that there was all kinds of irregularities in the December polls, we knew what we were talking about.
Thank you. Let's leave it here. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much, Sanda, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. That's Nathaniel Tete. He's Deputy Youth Organizer of the Eastern Region for the NDC, speaking to us about Akwatia. Kwame Oredu, the NPP person, has just called. He said he wants, there's something that he needs to rebut to. I'll give him that opportunity when we come back from this break. Yeah, welcome back. This is Akwatia Watch on ChannelOne TV and on 97.3 CTFM. Umaru Sandamado is my name, and I'm here with Fred Tete Jabano. We'll wrap up the discussion in a bit, but let me just give the opportunity to Kwame Oredu. He speaks for the NPP campaign in Akwatia. You said that you wanted to rebut or react to something briefly.
Umaru.
In a minute.
First and foremost, it's never true that in terms of development, the people of Akwatia have any benefit under the NDC. It has rather been the MPP who has brought development to the doorsteps of the people of Akwatia. Just recently, a town called Chakras, where their candidate comes from, under the auspices of the National Women's Organizer, Madam Kate Gimfua, and the District Chief Executive, the health center has been upgraded to a polyclinic just recently, just about a year or two ago. Now we have a district court with a bungalow at Akwatia under the auspices of the NDC, MPP. We have Kusi Market, we have Swabe Market. Almost every infrastructure development the people of Akwatia have seen has been under an MPP government. So in terms of development, we are far. Then the last bit, please, the last bit.
Yes, lawyer, you said you were going to react on
yes,
that.
Yes,
I thought you were coming to, but I actually give you more meat to your submission.
It's a word of caution.
Yes.
We beg them in the name of God. As for the 1 week and the 40 days observation, we have formally invited them. But for tonight's vigil, we believe that it's a solemn moment for us as a party. It's a solemn moment for our candidate. And almost every activity would be to honor his name. We beg them in the name of God, and probably for security implications. The NDC has not invited to this vigil.
Oh, wow.
No, they are not.
But he was your MP too.
No, hold on. It's a vigil to honor the person they claim has who stole the election. We don't want any mishap. So please, we'll be begging them in the name of God. Tomorrow is just around the corner. We've invited them. We've actually provided a big space for them. We are going to receive them well. We are going to serve them. You know, they like tea and biscuits. You know, they like.
No, it's not all of them. It's only Rojo. It's only Rojo who likes tea and biscuits.
Some of them like tea and biscuits. We are providing tea and biscuits for them on Friday. But tonight's event is for us.
Oh. You are rejecting their...
Please, if the NDC, if they are listening to me, people of Akwatia, please, leave tonight's event as a solemn moment for us as a party.
Very well.
It's a solemn moment for us as the people of Akwatia who supported Eneskomi for his memory. So tomorrow, we will provide your favorite biscuit and tea. Come for the 1 week, but tonight's event is for us.
Tomorrow's biscuit, make it Shamima. Do you know Shamima?
Yes, Shamima,
make it Shamima biscuit. Very well. That's Kwame Oredu.
Just to let them understand that the seats they will sit on tomorrow, which will be the seat for the people of Wenchi, was provided and procured for them by Honorable Eneskomi. So even in his debt, he's serviceable. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Kwame Oredu. He's a spokesperson of the campaign of the NPP, Sumedu's campaign in Akwatia constituency. Nathaniel Tete and the NDC, they said don't come for their vigil, which you had said you were going to come to tonight. Fred, we need to wrap up, but this is a campaign there's strategy, there's emotion, there's more politics, there's everything in there.
It's called the funeral campaign.
Yeah.
A very interesting strategy. One party wants to hold a vigil, hold a 1 week, 40-day remembrance of the past MP. The other party realizes that, look, there are going to be a lot of numbers. So what do? Do we sit outside?
Go inside.
We have to go in. So the other party says, okay, we'll join you. It's a solemn thing. It's for the candidate who has passed or the MP who has passed. So let us all mourn him. Even though we challenged his legitimacy, we are all coming to mourn him. So they are going to the vigil. They are going to attend the 40 days. The MPP says, no, you can come for the 40 days, but the vigil is for us. Interesting.
But even the 40 days, the chairs will be branded
in the name of Neskumi. So it's quite interesting. And you realize that both parties are now adopting the retail campaign, where instead of having the usual big rallies, now they are decided to go door to door and house to house to engage. I think in the last elections, since 2020, when COVID struck, both parties have realized how effective that retail campaign is.
The Atamil strike.
Exactly, the 2008 Atamil style. They both realize how effective it is. So, as I say, parliamentary elections are local, and with local elections, having big rallies will not really change anything. You need to engage and promise the people what you want to promise them. So you meet, there's a one-on-one, there's a connection, and that's what both parties want to achieve.
Well, we see how that goes. So tonight there'll be a vigil. We'll bring you excerpts of that based on what we get from our correspondent who is in the region for us. And then tomorrow will be the 1 week and the 40-day observation of the passing of Ernest Kumi. However, while all of that is happening, there's subtle campaigning happening all over the place as NDC and MPP work to gain or have the vote of the people of Akwatia and add an extra number to their numbers in Parliament. What we do as a platform, ChannelOne TV and CTFM, is to bring you unbiased coverage, hear from both sides, let you know what the messages are, and we will be following every event for you until the election day here on Akwatia Watch on 97.3 CTFM and on ChannelOne Television. I've been your anchor, Umaru Sandamado. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing, at 3 p.m. to continue with the discussion. Please stay with us.